Do you guys, do you think MAGA is dead? Are you done?
No.
No. Do you think MAGA is dead?
No.
MAGA's definitely not dead. That's probably the biggest joke that I've heard.
So I've heard online that MAGA is dead.
That's bullshit. Bullshit. Not true.
No, this is coming from people who are on the right, who used to be Trump supporters. They've abandoned ship, and they've said that it's happening in droves, and most people are withdrawing their support.
No, not true. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I came over to this country when I was 3 years old, came over from Cuba, and became an American citizen, and I love this country to death. Very happy what Trump is doing right now, maybe liberating Cuba soon. So how can you go against any of this stuff when people are being liberated around the world? This is the right president for the right time. And MAGA's not dead. Whoever says MAGA's dead is probably that stuff from the left. You know, they're always coming up with ideas and throwing it in the press and trying to get everybody to think MAGA is alive, very well alive, and especially here in Florida and in South Florida for sure. Miami-Dade County, we love President Trump.
We're asking Trump supporters if they are still with Trump.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of online right-wing civil war going on Twitter, and I guess it's X now. I'm just so old.
Yeah.
They're saying that MAGA is dead. He has no support. He's lost everybody. No one likes him anymore.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Why do you guys still support Donald Trump?
Because I feel like he has our country's best interest. I don't agree with everything he does, but I don't agree with everything that anybody does. I mean, but I just feel like he's here to do the best that he can do for us, our country, our people. And that's why I agree with what he's doing.
Did you vote for Trump?
Did I vote for Trump? Yes, I did vote for Trump. Of course, I had to vote for Trump because I don't vote for the devil.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that Trump is perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I don't agree with a lot of things, but you have to go with the conviction of what God leads you to. God puts the leaders in position. Nothing happens in this world without his permission.
Absolutely.
And what is it? Hebrews chapter 6, verse 3. You know, all things we do with when he prescribes them. He says it's okay to do that. And so that's just a really great thing. And knowing that he decided that we were going to have, or he permitted us to have the last guy. And I think that was because he needed to show us Americans that we have it so well. And when we don't treat that as the jewel that it is, then we might as well just be eating our own vomit.
Okay.
Harry, you were also looking at turnout. What are you seeing in turnout? Why is this significant to this conversation?
Okay, why is it significant? Because we know that within the Republican Party, Trump has that extra strong core, that MAGA base, right? We're talking about approval ratings, depending on which poll you look at, 95, 97, 100% with MAGA Republicans. And here's the thing. They are incredibly juiced up compared to other Republicans. Because let's take a look here. Republicans who say it's more important to vote in 2026 than the usual midterm election. Look at this. 60% of MAGA identifying Republicans say that, compared to just 36% of non-MAGA. So what's going on in these primaries, right? It's not just that you have this core Republican base that really loves Donald Trump. The people who really love him, they're the ones who are absolutely juiced up to go out and vote. They would go over hot coals to vote in those primaries. And you saw that in Indiana, with a clear majority of those representatives who went against Trump on redistricting. Well, they're no longer going to have a job come the next session of that state
So
legislature.
then the question is, do Republicans think that party leaders should be following Trump, or other Republicans should be following Trump?
Yeah, okay. So you see this juiced up MAGA, right? You see right here that his support among Republicans is just as strong as it was going into the 2018 midterm cycle, right? But it's more than that. Republican voters want their party leaders to follow the president of the United States, because party leaders should follow the president's lead. You know, for Joe Biden at the same point in his first term, just 57% of Democrats said that party leaders should follow his lead. Look at this number for Donald Trump. It's 75%, significantly higher than it was for Joe Biden. So it's not just that Republicans really like Donald Trump. It's they want their leaders to follow Donald Trump. And when they don't, as I said at the beginning, you get voted off the island.
Have you regretted your vote for Donald Trump?
No, ma'am. No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So MAGA is not dead.
To me, MAGA is not dead. Absolutely not. And I know there's a bunch of people online saying that MAGA is dead, you know, screw MAGA and all the above. Personally, I don't believe it. And I do believe that people are still following MAGA with their hearts. They know what's right. They're doing the right thing. They're true-hearted Christians, and they know that Trump is going to lead us in the right direction. And so I have faith that he will continue to do the right thing, especially with this whole war in Iran. You know, everything you see online isn't always true, and that's just what I believe. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So
Okay. Until Trump has proven that this war was a mistake, you're going to trust him.
Absolutely, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
all right. And if evidence comes to light that it was a mistake, you have no problem saying we shouldn't have done this.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm following him all the way until the end. I mean, he's a president for a reason. I think God put him in that place for a reason. So it's up to him, not us.
So I've heard.
You just have such courage. I admire you.
Where's your red hat today?
I don't have one, and we just saw them in the store, and I said to my husband, is anybody wearing those? And here you are.
It's a sign.
A lot of people have been telling us that MAGA is dead.
In my book, it's not. I pray I'm right.
You are right.
With the elections coming, when I see people your age saying just that, I have hope.
Aww.
It's your future.
Yeah.
We're old.
No.
It's you, your kids in the future. Keep it going.
When people try to tell you that MAGA is dead and the conservative movement is dying, don't listen to those fools. Just look at last night's Indiana primary elections. 5 rhinos lost. Every single one that Trump backed beat the weak-ass Republicans who refused to redistrict Indiana, which Trump was calling. So when they tell you, oh, MAGA is dead, don't listen to them. Just look at what happened last night. You love to see it. It is awesome. MAGA is alive and well. And I can't wait. I can't wait for November. It's going to be a bloodbath. Let's go.
Raised by Trump-backed candidates in Ohio and Indiana sent another unmistakable message that much of the political class and legacy media continue to underestimate. Donald Trump's influence over the Republican base remains extraordinarily powerful. What makes these results even more significant is not simply who won, but the growing frustration among voters who feel Democrats have become defined more by opposition to Trump than by a compelling vision for the country's steps. Remember what Barney Frank, an ex-congressman, is saying on his dying bed about Democrats. Remember, relentless outrage is not a governing agenda. Fear is not a long-term political strategy. And anti-Trump alone is not a message capable of inspiring working families worried about inflation, crime, immigration, energy costs, education, and economic survival. Millions of Americans may not agree with every aspect of Trump's style of rhetoric, and they don't, but many believe he fights, acts decisively, and understands their frustration with institutions they no longer trust. This is the moral and political reality Democrats must confront honestly. You cannot build a durable movement entirely around resistance to one man while failing to clearly articulate what you are for. Until Democrats reconnect with everyday Americans, beyond elite circles, media applause, and ideological purity tests, nights like this will continue to shock pundits while surprising almost no one paying attention to the mood of this country.
What I like about this video is that, you know, first of all, no, the answer is no, that the MAGA is not done. I'm an MAG person, not a MAGA person. I don't believe that you can make America great again. I don't know if you can identify any specific time when America was great. America's always been great compared to other nations. So just make America great, keep America great, fine. But what I want to say is that two things. One of the things is that we've heard these lies before. During the COVID time, they said that the COVID shot would not only cure you of COVID, but it would prevent COVID. And that was mass produced. It was a lie. They said that Black people were second-class citizens. You remember back in the day, they were good at sports and they were good at entertaining, but they weren't that intelligent. You know, that was a lie. Then Michael Jackson's movie came out. The critics said that it was going to be a flop. It was no good. Look what happened. You know, see, you just can't learn. You got to learn how not to listen to people that hate you, especially listen to the enemy. You know, to go to the Republicans or that hate Trump and trust their reports about whether or not he's succeeding is like going to a KKK person and ask them to explain Black people to you, or to the Nation of Islam and ask them to explain white people to you. This don't work.
I'm gonna just let y'all know, MAGA is not dead. I don't care what Tucker, Megan, Marjorie, Candace, Nick Fuentes, and the rest of that little group says. The only thing that has happened is all of the masks of the fake wannabe conservatives have been removed. That's what happened. So you're getting to see the truth because the people, they want what is happening. They love what Donald Trump is doing. Yes, we don't agree with everything,
Nope, we
but
don't.
we know that it has been appointed for such a time as this, and he's doing his job. So do not let these people convince you anything other than that. Make sure to get out in the polls and do what we're supposed to do, because MAGA is not dead. We are alive and kicking. And I'm going to say proudly, I am so thankful that I voted for Donald Trump.
Democrats make it very easy to not support them. They make it very, very easy to not
Yes,
support
they do.
them.
That's right.
If you actually take the time to do your own due diligence on their agenda, the direction that they would like to take the country, makes it really easy to say,
Real
nope,
easy.
can't support these people. Makes it very easy to do so. So I'm in agreement with, all of you guys and those, in the clips here that, no, I think MAGA is alive and well. And I think more people has actually joined the bandwagon. To be honest with you, when you think about, what has transpired over the better part, of a year and some change now that he's been back in office, you have a lot of people that have come out and say, man, I regret voting for Kamala Harris. I regret supporting the Democrat Party because now the mask is off. Everybody understands who they are and what they're about. At least a large majority of people are starting to understand that. And now because the Democrats have, are really starting to stick their chest out and really showcase their policies, showcase their agenda, like we witnessed with Governor Moore and having to capitulate. We've seen the same thing with Gavin Newsom and some others out there that, hey, y'all got to get on board with this. We saw Jasmine Crockett, Jim Clyburn tell Black people in a church that y'all got to get on board with this alphabet community. Folks are like, wait, time out, man. Time out. That's what y'all about? Oh, no. And I'm with you. We don't have to say again, I think America has always been great. When you compare it to other nations, and Celeste has said it a multitude of times, people get upset because America isn't perfect because they're comparing it to perfection. But when you compare it to the other, 50 to 60 nations around the world, it's not even close.
Not even close.
It's not even close. It's the freest place that you're ever going to be. And it's the one place in the world that you could legitimately start off in the bottom 10% of the population in poverty and work your way to the middle class. And you definitely, with, some good blessings and a strong work ethic can work yourself into the 1%. And to be honest with you, even if you don't have a strong work ethic, it's the one place that you can start at the bottom and work your way to the top 1%. Just for being halfway decent on social media. We've seen that happen. See Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed and some of these other streamers out there. We've seen that.
Very true.
Well, I would like to say that, you've got to be able to spot the propaganda. And when I was very young, my father gave me the cheat code for how to do that. And what he told me, and I'm serious, I was maybe in 3rd or 4th grade. And he said, whenever you receive a piece of information, there are 2 things you must do. First is you must understand what they're telling you. What is the piece of information? And the second thing you must do is answer, why do they want me to know it? So one, you have to understand what it is they want you to know. But even more important than that, or at least equally as important, is why do they want you to know it? So if we take this as a metric for how to receive any piece of information, if we take this metric and the question is MAGA dead? Okay, is MAGA dead? That's the piece of information. MAGA is who? The base of support for the president. So what they want me to understand is there is a possibility, because it's in a question form, that the president does not have his base of support. Why do they want me to know that? They want me to now question whether or not the president has his base of support.
That's right.
That is the why. And the why do they want me to know that? So whenever you are getting any piece of information, and you should regard all information as propaganda until you put it through your metrics and determine whether or not it is fact. The only thing that separates it from being propaganda is whether or not it is fact. And that all information must go through a metric to be able to distinguish itself from propaganda to be acknowledged as fact. No, the answer to the question is no, MAGA is not dead. And the answer to why it is they want you to know that is because they want you to begin questioning the president's support. So what? So now you will question your own support of him, because they know that humans are social animals. It is extremely difficult for humans to do anything alone. So if they tell you others are not doing it, by implication, you then now have to question, well, why am I continuing to do it
That's the
if
game.
others are not? And that is the purpose of this type of reporting. It's not whether or not it is true. The people who started this reporting already know it's not true. They're not telling you this because they're looking for an answer. They know the answer.
That's right.
They are telling you this because they are trying to persuade you into the answer they want.
That's
Again, stop being used.
And I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. 50% of you guys that watch the channel are not subscribed. Hit that daggone subscribe button. It costs you nothing to subscribe. But if you'd like to go the extra mile, obviously you can join the ARP family. You can buy your brother a coffee. You can hit the Cash App as well. Those links are in the description box below. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Those of you guys that watch and support what we're doing over here, you know we're fighting an uphill battle. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.